I'm Jim Adams from Riverton, Kansas.
I'm Wes Davis from Riverton, Kansas.
We're going to talk about, it's been almost a year since Hurricane Katrina and the start of Friends Disaster Relief, or our little version of that.
Yeah.
Well, it was on a Friday morning at about 8 o'clock in the morning at a little coffee shop called Murphy's. The hurricane came on a Saturday night and Sunday, and we got to see a week of people standing on roofs and people screaming and yelling, and after a week it took a toll on the whole world and us, and we had to watch that on the news every night and the news every morning, and so I came to coffee and vented that frustration to Wes, and he and I sat and talked about, my gosh, why can't somebody just get up and do something?
Yeah, I'll never forget that look when I knew that you were going. You turned to me and said, I'm going, you want to go?
Why don't we do something?
But the amazing thing was, right after, no longer had I got in my car after we cut our breakfast short, and I'm calling my wife to tell her, and then my phone's ringing off the hook immediately, and it's you, and go, hey, I got us airtime on the local radio station.
TV.
And
yeah, the radio too.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Then on my way, he goes, come on, we got to go now. And they said, can you be here in 15 minutes? So on my way over, I turned in the radio station. They were already advertising it on the radio station on our way. This is in 15 minutes.
The amazing part was, within the hour, we went to the TV station and talked to the station manager, Gary Hood, and said, hey, we're going to go. Well, what are you going to do? I don't know. Well, where are you going to go? Well, we don't know that either. We'll know when we get there. And we got on TV. They were so nice. They donated us commercial time. We said, we're going. We don't know where we're going. If you got supplies, bring supplies. We know they need water.
Yeah, right. Just miracle after miracle happened immediately. And it was going so fast that we didn't have time to catch our breath. And we're not there 30 minutes total.
On our way home, it's showing every 15 minutes. By the time we got back to church, the phone is ringing off the wall at the church. Jeff Adams is catching the telephone. By 4 o'clock that afternoon, we had raised almost $8,000. But however, we also had 2 trailers full of water and diapers, 2 pickup trucks full. Still,
the amazing thing was, where are you going to go? We don't know. We just know that God put it on our hearts to go, and we're going to go. We're going to go, and we believe the Spirit of God will lead us. And so we headed down there. We drove through the night. The next morning, we're calling. By then, we had hooked up with a couple of pastors. We were, I think, an hour and a half out of Monroe. He says, where are you at? And we told him where we were at. He goes, don't go there. We need you there. And he sent us to Baton Rouge.
What a great mission they had set up. Yeah. We actually unloaded there.
We unloaded everything.
We unloaded the vans. We high-fived each other. We congratulated each other. A job well done. Here we are. We've done disaster relief. Now we can all go back and say that we did our part. And the pastor, actually the associate pastor of that church, came out and said, are you guys in a big hurry? Or do you guys think they head right back? And we said, no, not really. We're here to help. That's what we came down here. Well, they really need water in Covington. And we loaded all the water back up into the vans. And
we have enough water here. They need water in Covington. Get there.
We headed to Covington. And we got to Covington. And you know, we talked about God's hand being in this first trip and the second trip and the 10th trip and the trips we took down there. But it was so evident, because everywhere we went, we were just in time. Everywhere we went, they said, we're so glad you're here. What you have for us is what we needed at this point. But the reason we went to Covington is because they needed water. We need water in Covington. So we loaded up 2 vans full of water. And when we got to Covington, they had nothing but water. As we go, what do we do with this water? And they go, I don't know. So a car pulled up with a young, a little girl and a young man and a little baby, and they said, hey, can we have some water? And the guy says, no, you can't have any of this water. This is not a distribution point for water. This is a staging area. Yeah. If people find, you'll have to go to your Red Cross shelter, and these kids just needed water. And well, I don't know if it was Bobby or Wes or Kenny said, hey, we got water. Can we give them water? And they go, yeah, you can give them water. You can give them water, but we can't. So we opened up their trunk, and they said, do you have any diapers? Do you have any baby formula? We go, no, we left that all in Baton Rouge. And I don't know if it was Bobby or who was it. They opened up the back of the van, and we had left a box in that box on accident. But it had diapers and baby formulas and wet wipes. And we go, now we know we're in Covington. But that's where we met.
All the Red Cross people.
All the Red Cross people.
We got in with the Red Cross people, and we said, hey, we're here to help. We have this water. They go, well, hold on here for water. And then we started unloading pallets and taking the big pallets from the staging area. The Red Cross vans would pull up in the back of these big, massive semi-trailer, tractor trailer full of water. And then we would load them onto, what was those little...
Herbs.
Herbs, yeah.
Herbs.
Urban Relief Vehicle.
Yeah, right. Herb.
Yeah, and so we'd load them on that, and then one of the Red Cross ladies said, "You really want to see what it's like? I said, come follow us."
But the guy kind of snuck us in. He goes, "Turn your flashers on, follow me in, I'll tell you." So we got to go to this huge Red Cross compound. We said, "We want to help, we want to do what we can do, whatever." She said, "You need to understand something. You haven't been Red Cross trained, you haven't had the right shots, you're not trained to do this kind of work, so the only thing I can tell you is basically turn your flashers on, get behind our vehicles, follow us, welcome to the Red Cross." So that's how we got to Lacombe.
That's the part where the people back here begged this trip in prayer, because we didn't have a clue what we were doing. Just God led us one angel after the next, the right person right in front of us, and she said...
And it was without question.
The next thing we know, we're right down...
In the heart of it.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of a Red Cross shelter.
By the Lacombe Middle School.
In Lacombe, Louisiana, and just inland from New Orleans. And
serving hot meals, dishing out ice, standing in line, just meeting incredible people that were...
And giving them our water.
That's right.
That's
our water.
That's where we
That's
gave them
right.
our water.
You bet.
And every drop of water went to where it needed to be.
You bet.
And
we networked. It blew up from there. We networked from there. We met the pastors of the local Baptist church here in town. We met the pastors of a lot of other local churches.
And over the time, as we got connected with more pastors, then we got hooked up with the fire station and Slidell, churches down there, and we went out, so we continued to take trip after trip after trip. And then other people from our yearly meeting came, people from Rose Hill, people from Northridge,
right.
Matt Macy. We even let him come and drink some Dr. Pepper on the way down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so we were pretty gracious.
It was that Mike, and I can't think of Mike's last name, that ran the Red Cross shelter there. He said he didn't know what he had done without that group, because we were the chief supply of that Red Cross Center for food and diapers and baby wipes, and for about 6 weeks, because we took 2 trips a week for the first 4 weeks, I think, and then tapered it down to 1 trip a week, and got to send Jesse and Stephanie down, and served as our on-site temporary missionaries, but actually moved down there, stayed in a trailer, and just done incredible work down there. And you know what? They knew that was the Lord's work for them way before we knew it was the Lord's work for them.
Well, Jesse and Stephanie Hosfeld, when we went to them, we began to pray, we need someone to be down there on site to run logistics, to set up places for people to go to different homes and take care of that. And we remember we sat them down in my office and said, hey, we've been thinking about someone to go down there, and Stephanie just starts crying. Remember that?
Yeah. Are you okay? Do you not want to go? You don't have to go. And they had been praying for the same thing. They'd been praying for God to open them a door for missions, and either foreign or domestic, and it was a mission field. And we touched so many people, and so many people touched us. And
Jesus said, one time he was questioned about, why aren't you hungry? And he goes, my food is to do the will of him who sent me. And I remember feeling full the whole time. I lived life to the full.
So excited.
In that time, that it was full and invigorating and enlivening, and the fellowship was sweet and rich and tender. And it's, glory to God. We just did our little thing. God touched us that one moment in time, said, you do that, you're up.
This is it, you're up.
You're up.
That's awesome.
And it was our turn to bat, and we did.
Yeah.
And a lot of people stepped up to the plate and batted with us and joined hands with us.
I think the number one lesson that I've learned on that whole experience was to never say again, why doesn't somebody do something? Just do it.
Amen.
Just do it. Whatever it is, just do it. The church lawn needs mowed, the family down the street need a hand up. Just do it instead of saying, why didn't somebody do something?